Hey writers, welcome back to our monthly writer plan with me, where we usually spend a lot of time reflecting on how the past month went and then go ahead and plan goals for the following month. But today we're going to do something just a little bit different since tomorrow starts the first day of Preptober. Now, if words like Preptober and NaNoWriMo sound completely foreign to you, I've put some quick definitions up on the screen. But for the rest of us, whether you're planning to go all in for normal Preptober and NaNoWriMo by writing 50,000 words, or if you're looking to be a nano rebel, which we'll talk about, like you might be wanting to write a different word count than 50,000 words, or maybe you're in an editing phase and you rather focus on that, or you might even be wanting to write something different like poetry. That is totally fine, and you just are considered a nano rebel. And this chat, no matter whether you want to be a nano rebel or a normal nanoer, is going to be really helpful for you because it's going to be just fun. We're going to share a bit about the current writing project we're each working on. So I'll put your comments up here on the screen and what progress we've been making with it lately. And then based on whatever goals you have for your next project, we're going to make a step-by-step plan on how to set those goals up for success while sharing tips and tools that you might find really helpful. I hope this sounds fun. Let me know in the comments if it does, and if you will be a nano rebel or if you are going to do normal nano. And I just really, again, like the fact that there is a NaNoWriMo option, because if I am editing or doing something different, which I'm going to be doing a little bit of both, I still feel like I can be a part of the NaNoWriMo community that is so vibrant and so fun in so many ways that we'll talk about in a little bit. And it's just sad when you feel like you can't participate because you're not writing 50,000 words. So I'm going to give you the full permission to still participate and to still get in on NaNoWriMo and Preptober, no matter what your writer goals are. And I'm also going to give you a link to a full playlist of a bunch more prep tips by me and a bunch of other great author tubers that I found, because if we were going to talk about all the things and all the ways that you could plot and prep and do all these things, we would be here for hours. So instead of making one video with all of that stuff, I've been giving you guys that whole playlist. So at your leisure throughout the month of Preptober, you can go to the link down below where that playlist is and access it anytime and watch a bunch of really helpful videos. And I might reference a couple of them as we are going through here. So I'm just going to say hi to a couple of you as we're getting started. Hi, Cam, Nano Rebel, yes. Hi, Kate and Leanne and Mary and Aviana. Aviana, I haven't seen you in a little while. If I pronounce your name wrong, please let me know. I see your guys' names all the time, and then I don't say them out loud a whole lot. So let me make sure that I'm pronouncing everybody's name right. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Meredith. Hi, Athena. No Ordinary Scholar. Allie, you guys, I'm so excited. Katie, we're going to be having a lot of fun. I do a lot of my nano prep usually by myself, so I thought it would be really cool to do it all together. So let's get into it, and I'd first love to hear what is your current WIP, or if you don't know what that is, a work in progress, whatever writing project you're working on that you're going to be sort of looking into for October and November. I'd love for you to include if there's any kind of title. If there's not, that's totally fine. And then I'd love for you to include your genre and maybe 3 to 5 words that describe your story. This could be comp titles, elements, tropes, or if you have like a short, quick line or pitch that you use to describe your story. What stage are you in? Are you drafting or editing? And what are 1 to 3 things you did for your work in progress in September? And if you can fit that all into one comment, good on you. Here's a couple of examples with my own works in progress. So first I have Sisters of the Shadowwood. It is a young adult fantasy serial. It's a fairy tale retelling mashup. I am drafting the episodes right now, and last month I did a little bit of replotting for the rest of the series after writing the first episode. So that is project number 1, and I'm also going to be working on project number 2. So I'm also a nano rebel because I'll be working on 2 projects. On Wings of Ash and Dust is my YA fantasy novel. I've described it a couple different ways, but one way is Lord of the Rings meets The Hunger Games with fairies. And I have been editing this book for a long time and working on cutting words a lot recently, and also a bunch of other secrets that in the next couple of weeks I'm going to be rolling out to you guys that I'm not ready to share yet, but it's so exciting. And if you're a patron, you already know know a lot of this stuff, but no spoilers. Cool. All right. I'm super excited to pull up some of your stories. Eviana, thank you, dear. I am so sorry. Love, love, love. All right. So, Allie, The Promise of Shattered Stars. I love that title so much. Adult science fantasy. Yes, it's the Odyssey meets Pride and Prejudice in the far future. Super fun. I love that. Meredith, I've been revising a Western adult romance since the beginning of the year. Cool. It uses the marriage of convenience trope, which is my all-time fave, nice, and takes place in 1880s Kansas. Super fun, love this. Kate says, I'm working on a new adult fantasy novel with an enemies to lovers, HEA, titled Heir of Blood. I'm in the planning phase right now and starting the draft in November. Awesome. Leanne says, Sky Pirate Fantasy, loose Neverland retelling serial, early drafting. Yes, I've been hearing a lot about this one, Leanne. I'm super excited about it. Katie says, I'm working on a young adult contemporary story about a brother that fights guardianship of his little sister after their parents died. Ooh, oh my goodness. We're getting deep. I love it. Let's see. Oh, we're shouting out each other's. Yes, I know. I love that too. The comp titles, always the clincher. Awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Athena, editing People's Princess, YA fantasy, selection without a prince. All right, I love that. Fawn is in the running to be princess, but would rather roam the world, plotting adult fairy fantasy that's like Fern Gully, and that's, I think, is the second project. So I love Fern Gully. I love that you're drawing inspiration from that. Jennifer says, The Wild Skies, young adult fantasy meets Western. There's a lot of Westerns going on. Wild West. So far, I've just come up with a few basic ideas. Wild West with flying horses, basically. Do they just fly or do they have wings too? Are they like Pegasus-y? I'm excited. Yay. Awesome. Completed first draft of my memoir. That's awesome. First draft finished is like huge. So yay, Diana. All right. My NaNoWriMo prep project is Project Star Dreamer, a sci-fi retelling of Joseph in Egypt. And I heard you talk about this in a live stream earlier this morning, and it sounds awesome. I'm super excited about it. 2 projects as well as building my website. Yes, website, get it done. Woo. All right, and they have wings. I love it. Great, guys. Okay, well, let's get into some planning, shall we? So, what is your main goal, or you might have a couple goals for your project, and you could be, a typical nanoer that like, I am just starting this new project and I want to write the first draft complete at least 50,000 words in throughout November for NaNoWriMo. And if that's you, that's totally fine. Just let us know in the comments. And I love that. But you might also maybe want to track your writing or editing by how many pages you are editing or writing. So especially if you're editing, you might have your manuscript done, figure out how many pages there are, and then you could say, I have X amount of pages to edit. And maybe we're going to talk about how to break that up, but you could break that up by like every day I need to work on a certain amount of pages or edit a certain amount of pages. I personally, when I'm drafting, or even editing, I like to work on scenes, specifically when drafting, because when I think too much about word count goals, I get like, oh, I just have to write words, words, words. And sometimes I write too much filler words, and then my manuscript ends up being too long, and I end up having to cut words later. And so for me, I rather focus, especially on the first draft, of just telling the story and just getting it out, even if it's just like 10,000 words. And then I can always figure out what the core of the story is there and move things around and get people's reactions, like have a beta or alpha reader read it and give me their first impression without having them read like 50,000 words and then realize I have to write the whole thing over again. So for me, I've realized that I work really well with a scene goal instead of a word count goal, but that's just me. And I'm wondering if you guys have any other different kinds of goals. So let me know. And I'm going to try to find where I left off in the comments. Hi, Charlie. We're just sharing a little bit about what current writing project we're working on and what our goal is coming up either for NaNoWriMo or for next month. Definitely let us know. Katie says, I have trouble focusing these past years. I want to focus and feel motivated to finish 50,000 words this year. Yes, love it. Clean cut 50,000. I have about 5 to 7 chapters to complete. That's a great goal too. No Ordinary Scholar. I'm working on a YA psychological thriller focused around a group of teenage spies. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's see. I love that outlook. Sounds more attainable for me. That's what I found, and maybe it won't work forever for me, but right now, yeah, doing scenes is definitely, it makes more sense in my brain. Jennifer says, if I get some more ideas worked out during October, then I might try for the 50,000 word goal for Nano. But if not, then my goal will be to fast draft my way through some key scenes. I'm not a plotter, so that's totally fine. And the other thing that you just reminded me too, hold on, ideas worked out and I might try, but if not, then my goal will be fast draft my way through some key scenes. Yeah, and you could always, too, for Nano, make like a good, better, and best goal. So I've talked about this a couple times in some recent videos, but you could say that like my best goal is for Nano is to write 50,000 words, but my better, yeah, and then the good goal might be like, I don't know, 30,000, 20,000, 30,000. Your better goal might be 40,000 and your best goal might be 50. So you see the levels there. So at the end of Nano, you're not just saying, oh, I won Nano or I lost Nano. You could say, I got to my good goal, or I got to my better goal, or I got to my best goal. And I just really like that mentality, so that you feel like you at least hit some kind of marker. Athena said goals for her book would be finish editing and look for betas. Goals for the first project. And the second project, the Fern Gully one, I don't know what to call it yet. That's fine. Finish plotting during Preptober and finish first draft in Nano. And do you have a word count goal at all? Or are you going to be working off of scenes? Let me know. Kate, I'm trying to finish at least through Act 2 of my novel, so probably about 75K. Woo, that's a lot of words. Hi, Kaylin. Long time no see. Hi. Glad to have you back. Aw, thanks. And talking about my favorite topic, goals. Yes. Yeah, feel free to share with us, Caitlin. I'd love to know what's going on with you. Anna says, finish editing the first draft of the second episodes of my Aladdin serial by the end of the year and write the first draft of episode 3 and 4. Love it. Yes. Oh, cool. You guys are getting excited about each other's stories. I'm doing the traditional 50,000 words. We're going to talk about some tips for that for sure. Adult fantasy. Okay, so we're sharing a little bit more about our stories. Grace is a 25-year-old Black Ops cryptographer. Forgive me for not knowing how to pronounce that. The sun erupts, a huge solar flare. It throws her into a parallel Earth populated by Fae. Oh my goodness, that sounds really epic. I like it. I'll track word count on the NaNoWriMo site, so that's somewhere you can track it for sure, nanowrimo.com, but I may track other things as I continue prepping. I love it. I'm going to be a rebel, Charlie. I started my first draft in early August. July was a bust. That's totally fine. I have picked up my YA fantasy novel idea that was supposed to happen Nano 2016. So project for 2020 instead. I love it. Okay, guys, I'm going to read a couple more. There's still a lot of comments, but we're already 13 minutes in and I want to make sure we get to so much more that we have going on. Bethany says, my goal is to finally get my website done. Awesome. I finished my first draft of my duology of an Esther adaptation. I love all these biblical retellings, you guys. In the lost city of Petra during the time of Alexander the Great, working with my translator. Woo! I love it. All right, I'm going to read 2 more and then we're going to move on. A 50K word goal and create a fantasy adventure handling endangered magical creatures with a magical zoologist as the main character. Ah, so cool. And then Kate, I like the tiered goal method. So the good, better, best. Good goal for me would be 50K. Better would be 60 and best would be 75. Kate, I love. I love. All right, guys, we have to move on, but if we're getting tons and tons of comments and I can't get through everybody and you really, really want me to read your comment out loud, I also have a super chat feature that you can check out as well. But we're going to continue going forward because we want to make a plan, right? And so what is your plan, strategy, or routine that you're going to use to accomplish this goal? And I have a few things you should think about. You should think about when you will be trying to work towards this goal, especially if you're writing. Are you going to write every day? Are you going to edit every day? Are there certain days? So one thing that I know a lot of people talk about, but I first heard Sarah Cannon talk about is during Nano having buffer days and also making sure that you know which days you practically won't be able to write. So if you have, there's like Thanksgiving, right, during NaNoWriMo, or you have other family events, or you have other obligations, you want to get a calendar in front of you and you want to mark off those days and maybe give yourself a couple of free days or break days or buffer days and say, okay, I don't actually have 31, it's 31, right, for October, 31 days to actually write or edit or accomplish my goal. I have less than that because these days I can't practically write. And I'm actually going to take this off here for a second so you can see I made this calendar here on canva.com and put in, I'm a little backwards, put in all the numbers for all the days. And part of what I'm going to do is going to cross off the days that I know I can't write or edit or work on stuff because I have obligations, and then count up how many days I actually have. And then there is a formula I'm going to give you guys, which some of you probably know it already, but you basically want to take, if you're doing words or scenes or whatever, you want to take that number and divide it by the number of days you have, and then you get how many words per day. If you have a less number of scenes than 31, you probably want to do the opposite, but you can figure out what do I practically need to do every day in order to hit my goal. That's all I wanted to say. There is, let's see. Oh, I say using the calendar. There's also a really fun calendar by my friend Holly Davis. She came up with a Preptober calendar. So not just for NaNoWriMo, and maybe you want to create a calendar for October, but if you want to create a calendar for yourself for Preptober, Holly already has you covered. And she has different like to-dos on each day when you sign up for her newsletter. And like one of the days is like work on character bios, and another one of the days is like, you know, work on world building and different things like that. So that is really helpful. You also want to think about where you're going to write, especially if you're trying to develop a routine, which I think is super valuable so that you get your body into a place of like, when I sit in this space and when I sit at this time, my body is ready to do the thing. And we have routines for so many other things in our lives. If you can develop a routine for writing and for accomplishing that goal, that'll definitely help you out as well. And make sure like during Preptober, like clean your space up, like make it tidy. That's part of what I did today. I'm a day early for Preptober, but I was like, I want to do this. And so I cleaned up my office space a little bit, and now I can't wait to get into that space and write. And I feel like my brain will just be clear and in a good place. And let's see, also communicate with family and friends. So if you have a schedule for yourself of what you want to do and you don't communicate it to the people in your household or the other people that have expectations of you, then that's where the butting of heads happens. And, or you start saying, well, you know, they're my family and I didn't really tell them that I was going to be doing this, so I'm just going to not do my goal so that I can, you know, make them happy. And either of those extremes is not where you should go. Definitely talk to them this next coming month of October and be like, okay, I just want to let you know that, you know, October, November, I'm going to be working on this goal, and I have a schedule up for myself that I want to be in this space at this time. Does that work for you? And I really love your support in that. And it just takes a couple minutes to have a conversation so that when you start going for that goal, then you have all the people that you love in your life at home supporting you and able to be there for you. So does that make sense? Let's see. People are still sharing plans, which I love. Yay. Cool. And Athena said, I just watched Holly's video on newsletter stuff. Very helpful. Yes, she has a whole video. I think I linked it down below, but if I didn't, I will link it there after this live stream is done. Awesome. Okay. So share, let's see. Oh, you know what? this is what I want to do. I want to pull up some of the plans. My current plan is to write ideally every weekday if possible. I'm a strong morning person, so writing then is always more ideal. 1,163 words a day with weekends off seems doable. Yes. And just make sure that when you add all of that up, that's actually the word count that you want. But that's what I've done the last couple of years too, is like just take the weekends off and then I was doing more words during the week. Let's see. Katie says, I plan to write during the week, but on the weekends I will write less and take time for self-care. I will plan to write in my office. Love it. Let's see. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. That's fine. All right. The novel Nan, I love this. I just filmed the video about my Preptober plans and I had to let my daughter know that I couldn't watch the grandbabies because I have Preptober and Nano stuff the next 2 months. Hey. And, you know, I think that as long as she can support that, you know, that's the best. That's the best of both worlds. So awesome. I love, oh, we've got a few more. I'm going to read a couple more and then we're going to move on. Mary says, I had planned to take Sundays off for writing, but that means at least 2,000 words the rest of the time. I'm not there yet, so I'll at least write on Sundays. Mary, the other thing that I think I have a note for later is to say that you could because you don't have to write the same amount of words every single day. And what you might want to do is have a couple of writing sessions, you know, leading up to Nano, so you can get some of that writing done early. And you might call that cheating, but you know, if you want to hit that word count, I give you permission. You could also say my first week, I'm going to write on Sunday so I can get ahead so that the following Sundays I can take off and I have less words every day, something like that. So feel free to shake things up a little bit. Denise says, I'm planning on writing Tuesday through Saturday for 1 hour. I will write at my desk in my room. It's by a window, so I can look out at the sky. Yes, mine's right by my window too. And I love having, like, so I'm in my office, but outdoors is right out there. So I love that. And I love that you have like a goal of hours. That's another way to do it. Instead of saying I'm going to write a certain amount of words or a certain amount of scenes, you could say, I'm just going to write an hour a day or 2 hours a day, and whatever I get out of that, like, I'm going to check off by hours and I'm going to consider myself a success because I spent the time. So that I think is awesome too. Let's see. Oh no, she's mad. Oh, well, maybe you can find a compromise somewhere. Let's see. Kate says, I plan to write during the week after work and catch up or boost word count with a weekend writing marathon at least 2 of the weekends. I scheduled a writing retreat this year, so that'll help too. And that's another thing that I think I mentioned later, but it's like taking, or another thing, Mary, that you could do too, is picking one of those days or 2 of those days in the month and making it like a retreat day, and just like a catch-up day, or, you know, like I'm going to write as much as I can day, or a 10K day, and like have a bunch of friends that are sort of doing it with you too, so you have that motivation. You could host some writing sprints on your channel, because I know you have a channel. So just some ideas. Athena, I just moved my desk around to see outside too. I have a squirrel. It's my new friend. Did you name him or her yet? Give them a name, please. Planning on writing in the cafe around the corner from my house for 2 hours in the morning on weekdays. Leanne, I love that. So your cafes are open. I've been thinking about doing cafes, and I think that they're starting to get open. Cam, I plan to write 2 hours a day in the morning before work at my desk every day. Love it. Hi, Maya. So awesome. So that is our plan. Let's continue to chat about a few more things, including how we will prep. So let me know in the comments, are you a plotter or pantser? Some of you already have, but remind me. And some of the things based on if you're a plotter or a pantser, writing by the seat of your pants, or plotting in the sense of wanting to have an outline first or something, you might not do all of these things, but here's some things that I would suggest during Preptober or October to help prep for actually writing or editing or doing whatever your goal is in NaNoWriMo. So brainstorming is always great. And even if you are editing, you might have brainstorming time to fix the things that you are trying to edit. You might want to figure out what your pitch is or your short one-liner is for your story, so you can, again, share with people what it's about as you are participating in communities, and you sort of have that like ground foundational line of like, this is my story, and you can sort of share it with everybody. Also, comp titles or inspirational works. I always love sort of being able to look back to those as I'm writing and being like, oh yeah, that's why I was excited about this story, or that was that inspiration. So I love writing down those things. And then a lot of the hefty work is character building and world building profiles that you might want to work up and start brainstorming, dreaming. I really love using Pinterest boards, which I didn't even put on here, but Pinterest boards are awesome to do during Preptober, so you can get like all the aesthetic vibes or like character inspiration, or I have like whole boards with just world building inspiration, and sort of setting that up so that when you go to write and you're like, what does this place look like? Or what does this character look like? Or what is the vibe or the mood? You have that to sort of help you as well. You could also do like Spotify playlists or YouTube playlists of music that sort of get you in the mood and inspired to write as well. I can't believe I didn't think to write these things down, but there you are. And then if you are a plotter, you might want to do some outlining, and that playlist that I mentioned that I'm linking to in the description below, full of a bunch of other prep tip videos. I have a bunch of videos on outlining, all different ways of outlining, different tools to use. So you might want to check that out. But I've always found, especially as I'm just like, I get stuck in certain places, or maybe I want to jump around while I'm drafting or editing, it's so helpful to have that outline. And then I wanted to say something about characters as well, is sometimes you might not want to do like a questionnaire for your characters, but I found it really helpful to do like some journaling in that character's voice. So especially like your main character, maybe your villain or a couple of side characters, and take a few pages and just during Preptober, spend some time writing a letter from that character to another character in their voice, or a journal entry, or just a scene. It doesn't even have to show up in your book, but I think having some of that prep writing, that pre-writing, can really help you get into the mind and the voice of the story. And then when you get into Nano, it's like you're sort of pulling from that as well. So awesome. Let me see what you guys are saying about prepping. Let's see. Ooh, we have so much. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. We have plotters and pantsers, which I love. And let's see. Mary says, pantser moving toward plotter, been doing lots of brainstorming for my work in progress. Yes, tons of brainstorming. Plantser, so we got a hybrid all the way, minimal plotting of the big things like what I'd like to see in a scene, and just make up the rest as I go. Love it. Eviana says, planner all the way and have everything outlined with some notes in each. Yeah, I like making those little notes too. Plotting out the series, says Nana, revising and editing the first book so I can start the second book in the series come Nano. That's so exciting. I'll be vlogging every day. Woo! Yes. I plot to no end. Yes, my people. I have a major plot line for the overall series I'm working on. I have outlines for every individual character and villain arc, every book, every scene. So you already sound like you've done a tons of prep. I love it. I've been brainstorming and doing Pinterest boards so far. I'm really working to get the characters' motivations, wants, needs, etc. Yes. And I wanted to say as well, in the playlist that I'm linking down below, there is a particular video about creating character bios. And so if you want to see an example, if you haven't made one before, you want to just get more inspiration or more ideas of what you can include in yours, that tutorial is down below too. Let's see. Jennifer says, big time pantser, but I'm going to try using Save the Cat while I brainstorm some ideas for what I want the story to really be about beyond the premise. Hopefully it will spark some ideas. Yes, and a list of just ideas to sort of bounce off of when you're getting stuck is really, really great. Katie, I'm a planner. I feel I need to have my story organized and plotted out. I love using Spotify, Pinterest, and the Writing Thesaurus series by Angela Ackerman, and I'm going to mispronounce her last name, so just Becca. I do have some of those books too. They are so helpful. Yes, pre-writing. Yes, I've really enjoyed that, doing that lately. Plotter, I've done a few thousand words of character profiles and world building, but I still need to make a full story outline to pull all the story threads together. Yes, I feel like all of those things are super helpful to do together too. I actually have a massive Spotify playlist of songs that in my head would be the background music of a scene. I actually incorporate the songs in the books too. I think that's super fun. And Charlie is pantser. Sweet. So let's continue, because not only with prep, I also really love to talk about tools. If you you guys know me at all, I'm always like, oh, I found this new like app or this new software, this new tech thing that I want to show you. And so I'm going to talk about a couple of those things, but also some physical items you can use as well. But first, you want to make sure you decide where you're actually going to be writing. So not just prepping, but writing. So are you going to be using a Word doc, a Google Doc, or something like Scrivener? I'm probably going to be using Scrivener, but definitely like Google Doc I love because it saves automatically all the time. Word doc, just make sure you are saving that thing. Make sure you are backing it up so that if something gets corrupted or, you know, your computer crashes or something, that you don't lose your entire project. So just pick something that you can have a backup. That's one of my big tips. Some other things you can do is creating a series Bible or a novel binder or novel planner. Any of those things are pretty much the same thing. They just hold everything that has to do with your story. So all your prep will be in one place so that when you go to write, it's easier to access. So I have a couple videos about creating series Bibles, physical series Bibles, and digital versions. So you can check those out below too. And also my friend Bethany Atazadeh, if you guys know her, she's coming out with what she calls a writerly care package for this coming month that has a bunch of prep stuff as well that also walks you through some of these kinds of things you might want to include in your series Bible. So you can check that out too. I think I linked that down below. Another thing that I really like to use is a bullet journal. And so this bullet journal is more for goals. And I wanted to show you my October spread because it's super cute. You know what? I should take this off. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, no, wait. That's what I wanted. Okay, so this is my October spread that I basically just did with pens and highlighters, and then stickers from Lynn. She created these beautiful Preptober stickers, and I'm super excited. She has like one sticker for every day, so as I do my daily goals here, that will be there. And let's see, where did I put the stickers? So some of the other ones look like this. Obviously, I've used some of them. And then if you're doing, this was the other one with all the words, and then she has some for like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and outline and characters. And then she also has some really cool word tracker ones. So I'm actually thinking of using these in the calendar that I showed you guys and putting one of these, even though I'm not counting words, I'll just like probably ignore the word part and use it for scenes or something. But these have brought me a lot of joy. So if you wanted to check these out, if stickers really motivate you, and we'll talk about motivation and rewards in a little bit, you can check out Mandi's stickers in the link below as well. And I do have a code for 10% off if you would like to use that too. The other thing that I think is really fun is you can buy a pre-made notebook, or you can, I'm gonna bring myself back here again, you can make notebooks with mock covers of your work in progress. So if you have a work in progress title, this is probably gonna be my real title, but I made this cover on Canva and then I uploaded it to, oh my gosh, Shutterfly. And Bethany Atazadeh showed me how to do this because she's done this before. And the notebooks are, I think, like $10 plus shipping, but sometimes they have like get a free notebook and then you only have to pay for shipping. And it's super fun, and I really like the inside pages, and I like that I can just fold it like this and make notes in there. And so you can be plotting in this, you can be making your plans in this, you can use it as a bullet journal, you can use it when you are editing or when you are planning to publish and you want to make like a publishing timeline or checklist in here. These are definitely really fun. Again, that is Shutterfly. And then this, I haven't showed anybody this one yet, but I have a second one for On Wings of Fashion Desk that came in a couple days ago. So this is my fairy story, and I just really like these guys. So if you guys end up making your own with Shutterfly, definitely share it on Instagram and tag me at author Brittany Wang because I would love to see it. Cool. Okay, let's see. Eviana, I just saw that you said, where do you get those notebooks again? If you're talking about the ones with the covers, again, I made the cover on Canva, and then I, like in a book cover template, and then I uploaded it to Shutterfly, and they have like a notebook that you can just upload a picture to. So awesome. And I'm seeing some Scrivener, Google Docs, and a physical notebook for me. So use all of them. Love your Preptober calendar. Thank you. I have to do all my brainstorming by hand, so super helpful stuff. Yay. Yes. And that's why I sometimes like I'm all digital, and then like I get to this point that I'm like, I just need a pen and I just need to write it down. And then sometimes I'm writing down and like making a lot of scribbles, and then I'm like, okay, I need to organize this and like put it back in digital. So I totally get needing a lot. Katie says, I am going to be using Word and writing by hand. I'm also using my Preptober Bible. Ooh, I like that it's called a Preptober Bible. Thea says, I have to make one for Preptober. Bethany put the stickers in her last care package and they're lovely. That's right. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying those care packages. They look really fun. Cool. Setting up October spreads now. Probably some combo of writing by hand. You all are ambitious. Word, Google Docs, and Scrivener. My hand would not be able to take that. Oh my gosh. Cool. And let's see. The notebook idea is so much fun. A great way to keep up projects. Yes. And I love looking at the covers too with like my title and being like, this could be well, it's going to be a book at some point. So it's really motivating. But if you have too many notebooks, I totally understand. Maybe you have to wait. Let's see. And yes, Word. They have an autosave now. Okay, good. Okay, I'm really glad about that because that used to get me into a lot of trouble. Okay, let's keep going because we have Kanban board. So this is another thing if you like putting up something big and physical on your wall, so you can look at it all the time. This is my first attempt at a physical Kanban board. I first saw this idea by Sarah Cannon and a few other author tubers. And basically you have your top, got to do this backwards, top 3 goals. And then this is the to-do section. And then when you are working on them, you can put it in this section. And then when they are done, you put it in this section. And so I really liked this, and I just used some washi tape. So it says the future is bright. So that's motivational for me. And then you could do, you know, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and sort of have like that physical reward of like, okay, I'm moving things, I'm accomplishing things. Or you could do, you know, 1,000 words or 2,000 words or 3,000 words, 5,000 words, however you want to do your mile markers, and then move that stuff down there too. This obviously takes like a lot more time, but I found it really motivational for me. So that's something else that I like to try and do as well. Katie says, I love that idea. I might need to create a Kanban board. Oh, it's so fun. Definitely. I want to see all the things you guys create. So send it to me on Instagram. I want to see it. Let's see. I totally hear you too, Leon, on brainstorming by hand and partially draft by hand. So I haven't done drafting, but brainstorming for sure. I love using pen and paper. Athena, yes, break them down as much as possible. So if you got a bunch of stickies, you can break that down to like, again, 500 words at a time, 1,000 words at a time, however you want to do that. Cool. Okay. Just making sure I'm not missing anything as we go along. Okay, yes. All right, I already mentioned the Preptober playlist of videos that goes into a lot more detail about other plotting things. Oh, there's also a video in that playlist. Again, it's linked down below. My husband is a physical therapist, and we did this video a while ago where he set up my desk and set up my posture so that when I was writing for a long period of time, I was getting some shoulder pain and some neck pain. And so he showed me some exercises and some positioning and ways I could change how I was sitting so that while I'm writing, I'm not getting pain. And so if you get pain, guys, in your hands, in your wrists, in your shoulders, in your neck, while you're writing for long periods of time, it might be your positioning and you might need to do some exercises and do some breaks while you're writing. So that is a really great video as well that's in that playlist that you can check out below. And also, if you see any Instagram challenges going on Instagram, a lot of people like to create them around this time for Preptober and NaNoWriMo, where it just gets you guys really getting to know each other as you share different posts and use the same hashtag. And it gives you a prompt for every single day that you can share an update or like a prompt to plan or something to write. And it is really cool. I probably won't have time to engage in much of them this time around because I have a lot of stuff going on, but if you're just getting started and you're trying to find writing buddies and pals and friends, and you want some extra motivation and accountability, which we'll talk even more about in a second, I definitely check that out. There's one called, I'm going to put it actually in the comments here, one called Preptober Planning Challenge. And that is by my friend Jane. She's been on my channel a couple times doing collabs with me, and I'm really excited for her challenge. It has a lot of good stuff. So you can check that out on Instagram if you would like. And I think I just saw that Mary said, yes, IG challenges. There are so many I want to participate in next month. Yes, love it. Secrets. Ooh, is my secrets or somebody else's secrets? I think I missed something. Sorry, guys. All right, let's talk about ways to celebrate, and then we're going to talk about finding writing buddies, and then how to finish strong when you're feeling like you're falling behind in your goals. So let's first talk about ways to celebrate and ways to reward yourself when you either hit NaNoWriMo or you want to set some rewards for certain milestones. So when you hit your first 10,000 words or your first 20,000 words or whatever, you can reward yourself with different things. So I asked a bunch of people on my Instagram for some suggestions because I had a couple of ideas, but I knew there were a whole lot more out there. And one particular person on Instagram, her username is April Mac Writes, and she has this one post that had like tons of ideas, and I'm not going to share all of them, but here were some of my favorites. So again, you can set daily rewards for daily goals, for weekly goals, for when you reach the end or when you reach a certain milestone. So again, like certain word counts or certain percentage through the book or story beats, however you're tracking your goals. You can also do stickers on a calendar, which I showed you guys here. So again, I'm probably going to you could do stickers that you actually write what you did that day, or you could just get fun stickers and be like, okay, I met my goal, sticker on here. And it seems silly, but for some people like myself, it might just be that extra little bit of motivation of like, I want a sticker on every single day. I also saw this idea. You could put a little bit of money in a jar every time you do like your daily goal. And at the end of the month, you could bless yourself and reward yourself by getting something fun for yourself. You could buy a new book or a new journal, or you could just tell yourself, I'm going to go to the library and rent a book and get one for free when I'm done Nano or when I'm done a certain part of my goal. I saw a bunch of people, I think it was last year, the year before, they all got writerly tattoos. This is a huge commitment, but when they won Nano, they were like, okay, I'm going to get this writerly tattoo, and it was like a whole big thing. I did not do it because I didn't know what the heck I wanted, but I thought it was really fun. You could also just say, I'm not going to read a book, I'm not going to watch Netflix, and I'm not going to be on social media until I reach X goal. So it could be your daily or weekly goal or whatever. And then when you reach that goal, then you reward yourself with that, going on social media finally, or binge watching your show that you've been missing out on, or reading a book. You could also plan like a special dinner or a fun night or a date night. So that's something simple too. Coloring is just really fun for me. And relaxing. So I put that in there. And then some other people were saying crafting or doing some kind of craft kind of thing might be fun. You could just get outside and take a walk because you've been inside writing a whole heck of a lot and working on your story. You could sign up for a class. This might be something that I would do after I wrote 50,000 words or after I completed my book or whatever. It's like, okay, that course that I've been wanting to take, I have earned the right to invest in it. And then I really liked this idea, was to buy an item or a merch inspired item that inspires by your book. So like a necklace, a custom shirt, or something that either has the title of your book on it. Maybe you actually want to reward yourself with this. Maybe you're not going to buy it until you're done your goal, and you're going to say, okay, when the draft is done, I actually really know what the title I want is and what I might want for my mock cover, then I'm going to order this. So I thought it was really fun because it was like related to the story. I think that was Renee that sent in that one. So thanks guys if you sent in reward ideas. It was a lot of fun to check these out. Do you guys have any other ideas? Let's see. Eviana says, take a whole weekend away. I like that one. Yes, the best medicine for me. I agree. Let's see. I have a whole video with reward ideas coming later this month. I tried to find either totally free ideas or things that were under $5. So everybody definitely check out Meredith's Secrets channel and look out for that. I love that so much. I'm going to need that video. Kay says, I like the going on social media or watching movies after you finish your daily goal. I might try that. Yeah, especially if you find yourself like getting distracted by social media or getting tempted to just be like, I'm going to go watch this instead of writing. Again, you just be like, I'm not going to do it until I'm done X goal. Let's see. Kate says, Readily Talk To sounds amazing. I usually reward myself with an episode of a favorite show for daily goals, and then I get the Nano winner shirt at the end of the month. Exactly. I love that. Athena says, I'm making Christmas cards while doing Preptober in Nano, 1 or 2 a day, so I'm not too far behind. I love that. I'm just going to go backwards to see if I missed anything. Hi, Abigail. Anna said, I'm using a Kanban board. Campfire has my series Bible. So Campfire is another great software. Trello, yes, for outlining and words to write. P.S. IG challenges are the best. I agree. Love it. Okay, so I think I've caught up there. Let's move on, because we want to wrap up soon, to getting some accountability. So let me know in the comments right now, do you have some writing buddies that can help you stay accountable for whatever your writing goal is, or do you not? Because we want to get you connected if you don't have some people to support you right now. One thing is you can join the NaNoWriMo.com website. I feel like the website has definitely changed over the years, and it's sort of harder to meet people on there, but that was something that a lot of people at least used to do. Let me know, you guys, do you still use the NaNoWriMo website to find buddies and stuff? Instagram and those Instagram challenges that I was mentioning are super great to find people. Obviously this live stream, so again, if you say in the comments, I don't have a writing buddy, maybe along with that, share what genre and what kind of books you write so that we can get you connected with some people that write those same things. You could also search word sprints and writing sprints on YouTube. And if you don't know what a writing sprint is, you basically set a timer. This is also another tip I could have put on a different slide, but you can set a timer for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then say, I'm going to do nothing else but write or edit or work on my goal during this sprint. And what I love is that people have been doing live sprints for a long time now, either on Instagram or YouTube, and you can actually have that accountability live with people so that you can stay on track with your goals. So I like searching writing sprints or word sprints on YouTube. You can actually watch replays of them as well. And I think I have in the playlist link down below, my friend Bethany has created some writing sprints that have really pretty music in the background and some really pretty graphics, and that are preset, I think, to about 15 minutes. So you can actually play it over and over again every time you want to sprint. So I thought that that was really smart, and definitely going to use some of those. And I was wondering if you guys would like me to host any live sprints during Preptober and NaNoWriMo. I feel like a lot of people do them, so I wouldn't want to step on anybody else's toes, but if you guys would really like me to use a video here and there to do that over the next 2 months, definitely let me know, because I think that'd be super fun. And then we could check in on how we're doing with our stories. And yeah, next month we would do more prep sprints, and the following month we do more writing sprints. So let me know if that sounds fun to you. Again, I mentioned Instagram challenges and doing your own writing sprints. And I already asked this question. Let's see. Oh, and if you are a patron, you guys already know this, but if you don't, we have a Discord group, which is really great to meet other writers and get connected with beta readers and CPs and just accountability buddies. And what we also have is a productivity sprint on there, and at any time you can pop in and see if anybody is available and do a sprint with them in the Discord group. And anybody can host it. It doesn't have to just be me, but I feel like definitely during NaNoWriMo times, there's a lot more of that going on. So if you want daily sprints, you can consider joining us, the Patreon family. There are over 80 of you guys right now, and it's super fun. I just want to do a quick thank you to all of my patrons who just make my life. You guys are amazing, and help support my content and help support my books. So yeah, you can definitely check us out over there. And a big thank you to Elizabeth and Kara, who joined for the first time this month to our Patreon. So thank you guys. I'm so glad to have you and love sprinting with you. And again, we call them productivity sprints because even if you're not writing, you could be editing, you could be cleaning your house, you could be doing whatever you need the motivation to do. And then we check in with each other during the breaks. So it's really fun. All right, let's talk about finishing strong. And then we are going to continue. And oh, I also want to let you guys know that if you are a YouTuber and you do live sprints here on YouTube, definitely put that in the comments so that people can have this as a reference point to be like, oh, I'm going to go check out that person's channel too and subscribe because you want to get in on all the sprints the next couple months. Yes, so Athena says, I go live writing sprints on YouTube and it's so nice. I have a local group I'm a part of, but I love interacting with other writers on IG and YouTube. I love that you have a local group. I wish I had a local group. Eddie, Discord is great. Yay. Love to see more sprints. Okay, I will try to put that in the lineup for sure. I'm thinking about doing a live writing sprint on Sunday as it is my birthday. And let's see, Ethan, why sprints? They're awesome. Yes, they are. Let's see. I love the reading writing community. I have met so many people through Instagram. I just started my Bookstagram writing account on Instagram. I can't wait to meet more writers. Katie, if you haven't already, put your username, your Instagram username, so that people can find you. And that's for everybody. Please put your Instagram username in the comments so that everybody can connect with you. Host all the writing sprints. Okay, all right, we'll do that. Bethany's writing sprint music timers are great. She has different music for different moods that I use for writing at different scenes. So yes, I think that's fabulous. Those are linked in the playlist below, again, too, for you guys. Sprints are great. I want to do some NaNoWriMo and prep sprints, but not sure how or if I would do them. Mary, we could totally collaborate. I know I've been seeing you do some buddy sprints if you wanted to do a buddy sprint together. Yes. Agreed. I love to have scheduled sprints if anyone is open to that. Yes. I've been busy making videos about writing instead of actually writing. I've been there. Get back to the writing. I enjoy sprint. I think you meant sprinting in Discord. Me too. Me too. And I love that there's GIFs over there, GIFs, however you say it. We all take love using those a lot. Yes. Welcome, Elizabeth and Kara. Thanks, Anna. Let's see. Charlotte, that's fine. We are wrapping up, but the replay will be available soon. Mary says, I've started live streams on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central Time. Great Fry, hi. I stream Mondays at 9:30 EST. You guys are getting all the times. Make sure you're writing them down. Let's see. This is Katie's username on Instagram. This is Mary on Instagram. I think we're getting all the Instagram handles. Woo woo. See, I found my local group because I went to Nano events last year. Definitely check out the local stuff happening in your area. You never know who you might meet. I should check that out. Although I don't know if, like, with quarantine type stuff going on, I don't know if they're going to have it this year. At least for us. It's so nice to meet everyone. I recently just joined the AuthorTube community Instagram author groups. Woo! Welcome, Charlotte. Yes, Instagram. All right. Pulling up that. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. Let's finish this strong by talking about finishing strong for Preptober and NaNoWriMo when you are falling behind. Specifically with Nano, this is something I told Mary earlier, but if you can get ahead, especially in the first week, that's when you are the most motivated and the most like on your game for Nano. And so I would say, and I've tried this before, it's very helpful, is to try to do even more to get ahead in that first week so that you can have less that you need to do the rest of the month so that if things come up, you're more likely to still hit your goal. Number 2, do not edit as you write. If you're editing, go ahead and edit. But if you're drafting, do not edit as you write. Just keep writing to the end. And if you finish early, you can always go back and add more words. But the magic is using a placeholder. So if you're like, I don't know what to call this character, or I don't know how to describe this place, just put placeholders in there, or even like a whole scene. Sometimes they'll be like, I don't feel like writing the scene right now, but I know that the scene is going to take place here and it's going to have this, and I want to make sure that this character does that, and I'm just going to come back to this later. Done. Placeholder in like parentheses or something, and then I move on to the next scene. So, and you can always come back to that when you're in the mood and in the zone to actually write that. But do not go back and edit and get stuck on like the first page or the first chapter forever. Just write the darn book and get it. Tell yourself the story, right? Nobody else is going to see that first draft. And if you're falling behind, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but you can take a day and just be like, this is my catch-up day, and I'm going to spend as much time as I can trying to catch up. You can increase your daily word count to make up for the, or whatever count you have, whatever goal you have. So increase your goal every day to try to catch up. Or you can just change your goal. Again, that's why I like having the good, better, best kind of goals. So you can be like, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to hit my best goal. I'm still going to shoot for it, but I'm going to definitely make my better goal. And this is how I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to adjust my plan in order to get there. Let's see. And don't forget self-care, you guys. And in that playlist I have linked, there's also a video, I think it's at the tail end of the playlist. Abby Emmons did a meditation video last year, I think, that was just like a calming and a centering and like a motivational kind of meditation to then do periodically through NaNoWriMo when you're getting stressed or you're getting anxious, and to just remember to, take that beat, remember why you're doing this, remember this is supposed to be fun, and relax and get back in the zone so that you can finish strong. And let us know if you have any other tips before we close up. And just thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and spending extra time with me. We were here for like an hour, but I think it was super fun to hear about all your guys' stories, and I hope the tips are really helpful, and I love connecting people and having everybody else share their own tips. So that's my favorite part. Also, next week, we usually do a serial update for the first Wednesday of the month. This is about my serialized story, Sisters of the Shadowwood, but I have some updates that I don't know if I'm going to be able to share next week, and I might need another week to get it together. So if I don't do a serial update, it sounds like you guys would be really excited for me to do some kind of sprint. And so we would do like an hour or so with like 15 or 20-minute sprints, and we would use that for like prepping time or writing time, whatever you want to use it for, and then we would do like little check-ins in between. So let me know if you guys would be excited about that, if I have to push off the update that I usually do. But yeah, you guys are awesome. And definitely let me know if you have any more tips that we should know about for NaNoWriMo or prepping. Let's see here. We see some more Instagram handles. You guys can check out those in the comments. Athena says, the end of November can be really stressful for a lot of people too, and it's easier to front load. I agree. Yes, getting ahead that first week is the best tip. It's why it's what I try to do each year. Love it. Remember too, it's just a word count, and Nano is hard, and it's okay to extend the time frame. Yes, if you don't finish, your goal again, that's why I like doing good, better, best, but you can always just continue and end it in December. It's not about winning. It's good to have a goal, but that's not the ending goal. The ending goal is to just make progress, right? Yes, I can't agree with getting, I think you say I can't agree with getting ahead in week 1. I usually do at least a 10K. I think you mean you can't agree. I usually do at least a 10K weekend for that first one. That's a great method. And writing meditations. Can't agree enough there. Yes. Oh, you're so welcome, Eddie. You're welcome. You're welcome. One or the other or both, as long as we see you on Wednesday. Aw, Athena, thank you. I love hanging out with you guys here too every Wednesday, which, by the way, I'm just going to plug this out here. Wednesdays might become increasingly difficult for me going forward, and I might have to change the day. I'm probably going to have to talk to patrons first, but let me know, are you guys usually around during this time during the day? Is any earlier any better for you? Let me know that real quick as we wrap up. I want to attempt daily Nano vlogs this year. Mary, that is ambitious. Sorry, and Kate, you're excited about possible writing sprints. Yes. Let me know how that goes. I've always wanted to try that, but I just feel like I would get so overwhelmed. But good luck. I can't agree. Okay. Good, good, good. Thanks for always doing these videos and helping us. You're so welcome. You're truly inspiring, encouraging me, and not give up on my writing. Yay! So many people had done that for me, and so it just makes my heart so happy to know that I can do that for other people. Thanks, Katie. You're so welcome, Kate. Cool. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. This was super fun being able to prep together, so thank you for doing this with me. And yeah, more updates to come and possibly a sprint. So make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already, so you don't miss whatever live stream we do next week. You can also follow me on Instagram at author Brittany Wang, because I always update there as well on what we're going to do. Usually Monday or Tuesday, I do a post of like, this is what we're doing for the live stream. So I'd love to engage with you there if we're not friends already over there. And yeah, that's all I've got for today, but we'll see you next week. Bye.